Hello scholars, welcome to Dakshina Classroom. This is going to be a supplementary lecture to the previous lectures. We are going to cover few small topics which we have missed from the previous lectures. So first topic which we will cover in today's lecture will be magnetic moment of a revolving charged particle. We have already seen what is magnetic moment of a current carrying loop. In this lecture we are going to talk about what is the magnetic moment of a revolving charged particle. Of a current carrying loop we have already discussed in the previous lectures. On the basis of that only we will find what is the magnetic moment of a revolving charged particle. This is nothing but an extension of that topic, that what is magnetic moment of a current carrying loop. Second topic which we will cover will be that previously we have seen that motion of a charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. But we have seen only one case. What is that? When that charged particle is going perpendicular to the magnetic field, meaning velocity of the charged particle is perpendicular to the magnetic field direction. Now here we are going to see what if velocity of a charged particle is not perpendicular to field. That we have not discussed, we will discuss that here. So second topic which we will discuss is motion of charged particle if velocity is not perpendicular to magnetic field. These two things which we will discuss in today's lecture. It is going to be a very short lecture. We will discuss these two supplementary topics. The time you get, you can utilize to clear your backlog. So let us discuss what is magnetic moment of a revolving charged particle. Meaning a charged particle of mass m, charge q, speed v is moving in a circle of radius r. Now we have already seen if there is a current carrying loop. If we have a current carrying loop, then its magnetic moment of a current carrying loop can be written as mu vector, which is equal to current times area vector, like this. So based on that we will try to find what is magnetic moment of a revolving charged particle. Now see here, if I want to find the magnetic moment, two things I need to know. First, I need to know the value of current. Second, I need to know the value of area. Now here, if this charged particle q is moving with speed v, then how much time it will take to complete one revolution or one complete circle? Time period will be, time taken to complete one circle will be 2 pi r, circumference of the circle, divided by speed. One complete circumference divided by speed, that will be the time period or time taken to complete one circle. Now if I ask what is the frequency, meaning how much revolutions it makes in 1 second, then what I will say? Mu. What is mu? Number of revolutions in 1 second. That will be how much? 1 by time period, 1 by t. 1 by t is how much? V divided by twice pi r. Now, how we can find the current using the frequency. Now what exactly is current? Current is nothing but amount of charge crossing through a cross section per unit time. Meaning, let us say I take this cross section. Then how much charge is passing through this cross section per unit time? That is your current. For example, there is a wire like this. Then I take this cross section. Then what is current? Current is nothing but magnitude of charge crossing through this cross section per unit time. Magnitude of positive charge. So that is your current. So based on that, let us try to find out if this charge particle is going around revolving in a circle, then what can be the charge? What can be the current? Now, what is frequency? Frequency is how many complete circles this charge particle is making in 1 second. Now, meaning if I take any cross section on this circle, any cross section, so my cross section is here. Frequency means it is making, let us say 10 hertz is the frequency, 10 revolutions per second, meaning this charge particle is making 10 rounds of this circle per second, meaning it must also pass through this section 10 times. Correct? So if I take any cross section, then this charge particle will cross through this cross section how many times? 10 times, equal to its frequency. If the frequency is 100, it will cross through this cross section how many times? 100 times. So here, if I want to write the current, what is current? Current is your magnitude of charge crossing through any cross section per unit time. Now, what is the total charge crossing through this cross section? What is the total charge? So let us say Q. Q is the total charge crossing through the cross section per unit time. So what is this? If mu is the frequency, then how many times this charge particle will cross this cross section? Mu times. And if charge on this charge particle is q, small q, then let us say 10 times it crossed. Then how much magnitude of charge has crossed through this cross section? 10 times charge on the particle. So if mu is the frequency, then how much charge has crossed through this cross section per unit time? Frequency multiplied by charge on the particle. So this can be written as frequency mu multiplied by charge on the particle, which is how much? Frequency is this. So QV divided by twice pi R. So Q by T. Let us write this Q by T. So this is your charge passing through that cross section per unit time. And what is the definition of current? Current is nothing but amount of charge crossing through a cross section per unit time. So this value is nothing but current. So because a charge particle is moving in a circle, you can say that there is a current. How much current? Q times speed divided by 2 pi r. This much amount of current is flowing like this. If Q is positive, direction of current and direction of motion of charge particle will be same. If Q is negative, direction of current and direction of motion of charge particle will be opposite. So because of the motion of charge particle, this much current is passing. Pause the video, note it down, then we will move forward. Now we have seen that current, because of this charged particle moving in a circular motion, current can be written as I equals Q times V divided by twice pi R. This is correct. Now what is area? This charged particle is moving in this circular motion. Then what is the area of this circle? Area of this circle can be written as pi R square. So what is magnetic moment? Mu is equal to I times area. We will talk about direction later. So I times area. So what is mu? I is QV divided by 2 pi R times area. What is area? Pi R square. Pi cancel, R cancel. So mu equals Q V R divided by 2. That is the magnetic moment of your charged particle moving in a circular motion, where Q is what? Q is the charge on the particle. What is V? V is the speed of the particle. What is R? R is the radius. 2 is the constant. So mu is equal to QR by 2. Now, sometimes it is also asked in terms of angular momentum of your charged particle. Sometimes they also ask magnetic moment in terms of angular momentum, especially in case of electrons. The question might be asked that angular momentum of the electron is given and find the magnetic moment due to the revolution of that electron. So what will happen? So mu we have written QVR by 2. Now multiply and divide with m. Then what you will get? Multiply m. So mu can be written as Q times mVr divided by twice of m. Now if a particle moves in a circular motion of radius r with a uniform speed v. Now why it is moving in a circular motion, that is not the topic of our discussion. We are only bothered with because of the circular motion what should be the magnetic moment. So like this. So if the particle is moving in a circular motion, then what is the angular momentum of that particle? Angular momentum is nothing but mass times speed times radius. This one. So what I can write? I can write mu equals Q times L, angular momentum divided by 2 times mass. Now what would be the direction of this magnetic moment? So mu vector, this is magnitude, and mu vector can be written as how? See here, if Q is positive, then direction of speed will be same as direction of current. If V is positive, if Q is positive, charge is positive charge particle, then direction of speed and direction of current is same. So if this is speed, then this is also current. So if I curl my finger, this comes out to be direction of magnetic moment. And same way, if I curl like this, this also R cross V, same as direction of your angular momentum. So if Q is the charge particle, Q is the positive charge particle, then your direction of angular momentum and direction of magnetic moment will be same. Why? Because direction of speed and direction of current is same. So if here you can write, if it is positive charge particle, then mu vector will be equal to, no need to change anything, Q times angular momentum divided by 2 times mass, if it is positive charge particle. Now what if it is a negatively charged particle? like an electron. If it is a negatively charged particle, then what will happen? If it is negatively charged particle, what will happen in this case? In that case, direction of speed will be like this, but current will be opposite. So angular momentum and magnetic moment will be in opposite directions. So in that case, I will write mu will be equal to minus of q times L divided by twice of mass. Now remember, in this case, the q is only the magnitude of your charged particle. Meaning, if you want to find the magnetic moment due to revolution of electrons, then what you will write? Minus of E angular momentum divided by 2 times mass of the electron, where E will be just the magnitude of the charge on the particle. In that way, what is the role of minus sign? Minus sign role is angular momentum and magnetic moment have opposite direction. If the angular momentum is plus I, then magnetic moment will be minus I. That way you can tell the what is magnetic moment due to motion of a charged particle. You can pause the video, note it down. Now let us discuss that how a charged particle will move in a uniform magnetic field if velocity is not perpendicular to B. We have already discussed that what happens if the velocity is perpendicular to field. In that case, charged particle moves in a circular motion. There is no work done by the magnetic field, only the direction of velocity is changed. Charged particle keeps on moving in a circular motion without any change in its kinetic energy. Now, so what will happen if the velocity is not perpendicular? If the velocity makes an angle theta with the magnetic field. So here let us say that magnetic field is Bi cap. There is a uniform magnetic field in this entire area, and that is Bi cap. And let us say my charge particle is going like this. Charge Q here. From here I projected charge Q in a direction at an angle theta with the x-axis. Meaning, if this is the field, I projected my particle like this. Now let us try to find what would be the force on that charged particle. Now, you already know what is the force on the charged particle. F equals Q times V cross B, like this. Now let us write. F will be equal to Q times, what is V? V you can write V cos theta I cap, V sin theta j cap. So V cos theta I cap plus V sin theta j cap cross with B. What is B? B I cap. So B I cap. Not write B here. Like this. Now, what is this cross product? Force will be equal to Q times, now I cross I is 0, so 0 plus J cross I J K, J cross I like this, J cross I will be minus of K, so here it will be minus K. So J cross I is minus K cap, so it is minus of VB sin theta K cap. Now see here, in this case what is happening? There are two components of your velocity. When the velocity is not perpendicular to magnetic field, your velocity can be divided into two components. One component V cos theta I cap, which is parallel to your magnetic field. Other component V sin theta j cap, which is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So here you can write Point. There are two components of velocity. One is parallel to the field, while other is perpendicular to the field. Now, what is the significance of having two components? See here. The force here is applicable in which direction? Minus of k cap. So x, y, k will be like this, upward, like this, here. So because of this force, the particle will try to go in a circular motion behind the board like this. But see here, when the particle goes into circular motion because of this force, by the time particle completes one circle, remember, it still has one component parallel to the field. So what will happen? Here, particle will move like this, and by the time it completes one circle, the parallel component of velocity, because there is no force on the parallel component. See here, there is no force due to magnetic field on the parallel component of the velocity. So parallel component of the velocity will remain as it is. So due to this force, particle will try to go in a circular motion. But due to the parallel component which is still as it is, the particle will try to go forward. So what will happen? Particle will move in a circular motion. At the same time, it will also move forward. So it will move like this here. Let us say it will try to go in a circular motion, move forward, circular motion, move forward, circular motion. It will keep on moving like this. So particle will try to move in a circular motion, but at the same time it will also move forward. So that is not exactly a circular path. It is called a helical path. Here you can see a more clear diagram of what is a helical path. So in a helical path, particle moves forward while trying to go in a circular motion like this. Particle will try to move. So like this, particle will try to move forward while going in a circular motion. So if this is the case, then what you can write here? Second, parallel component will experience no force. Parallel component will experience no force, while force due to perpendicular component will try to make it move in a circular motion. So here what is happening? While perpendicular component is experiencing force, particle is experiencing a force due to the perpendicular component of the velocity. Component of the velocity that is perpendicular to the field. And on the perpendicular component, there will be this force. And that force will try to move the particle in a circular motion. But as this force is trying to make the particle move in the circular motion, this parallel component V cos theta I cap, that is trying to take the particle forward. So what is happening? Particle is moving forward while trying to go in a circular motion. So here you can see a more clear diagram of what will be the path of that particle. So that kind of path is called a helical path. helix. In a helix, particle tries to go in a circular motion. At the same time, it also moves forward. Now, what was happening when the velocity was completely perpendicular to the field? In that particle was continuously moving in a complete circle. It was not trying to move forward. Here it is both things. It is trying to go in a circular motion, but it is also moving forward. So, helical path. So that you can see here. Pause the video, note it down, then we will discuss further. Now we have already seen that while the perpendicular component of the velocity of your charged particle tries to make it go in a circular motion, the parallel component tries to make it move forward. Now, see here. In case of when the velocity is completely perpendicular, particle goes in a circular motion. Here also the perpendicular component is trying to make it go in a circular motion. Now, so what would be the radius of that circular motion in which the perpendicular component is trying to make the particle move? So, radius of the helix, particle is going in a helical path, it is going like this, circular motion, moving forward. So radius of that helix will depend on what? Who is trying to make it go in a circular motion? The perpendicular component. So the radius of the helix will depend on what? Perpendicular velocity. So here what is happening? This force will provide centripetal acceleration required, centripetal force required. So because of this force, centripetal force is applied or centripetal acceleration is happening. So what I can say? mv square by r m. Now this v, now remember, when you are going in a circular motion, you take velocity tangential to the circle. Because of which velocity you are moving in a circular motion? Because of perpendicular component you are trying to move in a circular motion. So m times v perpendicular square, not total v. Why? That parallel v is trying to make it move straight line, straight forward, but perpendicular component is trying to make it move in a circular motion. So when we write mv square by r, centripetal acceleration, that v will be v perpendicular. What is v perpendicular? Perpendicular component of velocity. Perpendicular to what? Perpendicular to magnetic field. So mv perpendicular square divided by r will be equal to what? Q times which force is trying to make it move? The perpendicular component times b. So Q times v perpendicular times b. This is the force. Because due to parallel component there is no force. So this is the force which is trying to make the particle move in a circular motion. So mv perpendicular square divided by r equals qv perpendicular b. So from here you can write radius of the helix will be m times v perpendicular divided by q times b. That will be radius of your helix. So in this case, what is v perpendicular? V perpendicular is the component of your velocity perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. That. Now, let us talk about what would be the time period. Meaning, in what time period particle will try to complete one circular motion. It is not exactly circular motion. Remember, why it is not exactly circular motion? Because by the time perpendicular component tries to make a one complete circle, the particle also moves a little bit forward. So it moves a little bit forward every time, a little bit forward. So it is not exactly circular motion. Both things are happening. Perpendicular component is trying to make it move in a circular motion, while the parallel component is trying to make it move forward. So particle will move in a helical path. So what would be the time period? Now if you remember, time period of the circular motion or the circular motion which is trying to make, time period never depends on velocity. If you remember, time period was independent of velocity. What was time period? Time period was 2 pi m divided by q times b. So there is no velocity in the time period. So it does not matter whether your velocity is making an angle with the magnetic field or it is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Your time period will remain same. So time period does not change. Time period is independent of velocity. Now there is another thing which is unique to this case, that is called pitch. What is pitch? Now see, the particle is perpendicular component is trying to make it go in a circular motion, but the parallel component is trying to make it move forward. So by the time it comes back one complete circle, particle has already moved forward. So what distance particle has moved forward in one time period? See here, if the particle starts from here, let's take this point. By the time particle again comes here, it has already moved this distance. And let us say it starts from here. It moves like this, and by the time it comes back, it has already moved this distance. So by the time particle tries to complete one circular motion, it has already moved forward due to the parallel component of velocity. So what is pitch? Pitch is the distance traveled by the particle perpendicular, not perpendicular. In which direction? Which direction particle is moving like this? Parallel to the field. So what is pitch? Distance traveled by the particle parallel to magnetic field in one time period. In one time period. So what would be the value of pitch? Value of pitch will be, now in one time period, because of which speed, which velocity particle is moving parallel? Because of the parallel component. So what is parallel component? This is perpendicular component. So pitch will be V parallel times time period. What is time period? Twice pi m divided by QB. That is your value of pitch. Now, what is V perpendicular? Nothing but here, if the velocity is V, making an angle theta with the magnetic field, then here you can write nothing but V parallel will be what? V cos theta, whichever direction, or B unit vector. And what is V perpendicular? V sin theta in that direction. Okay, so you can take V cos theta as the parallel component, V sin theta as the perpendicular component. This will be your pitch. Time period is independent of velocity, no matter which direction your velocity is given, and radius of the helix will be like this. You can pause the video, note it down. So let us try to solve a question based on the helical path concept. What is helical path? When a particle is projected at an angle theta with the magnetic field, it goes in a helical path. Now, here the question given as a beam of protons with velocity 4 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second, which is a very high velocity, enters a uniform magnetic field 0.3 Tesla. Now velocity makes an angle of 60 degree with the magnetic field. Find radius of the helical path and pitch of the helix. Now, radius of the helical path. Now remember, particle will try to go in a circular motion because of which component of velocity? Because of perpendicular component of the velocity. So radius of the helical path will depend upon what? Radius of the helical path will depend upon your perpendicular component of the velocity. So radius of the path can be written as mv perpendicular divided by qb. Now what would be v perpendicular? Here field v makes an angle of 60 degree with the field. So if the velocity makes an angle of 60 degree with the field, then perpendicular component will be v sin 60. So mass times v times sin theta divided by q times b, like this. So let us write mass of a proton. Mass of a proton is how much? Around 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Multiplied by speed 4 into 10 to the power 5. Multiplied by sin 60. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Whole divided by charge. What is charge on a proton? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What is field? Field is 0.3 Tesla. Like this. Now when you solve this, you will get approximately 1.2 centimeter. 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter, which is approximately 1.2 centimeter. So here radius of the helix will be approximately 1.2 centimeter. Now what is the pitch? Now remember, pitch is what? Here it is CH. It is. Pitch is nothing but the distance the particle will move parallel to the field in one time period. So one time period, how much distance it will move. Now, so you can write here, pitch is nothing but V parallel. What is V parallel? V cos theta. V cos theta multiplied by time period. What is time period? 2 pi m divided by qb, like this. Put the values. V you are given, cos 60 is 1 by 2. So here you can solve this. Let us write here. V cos 60 is 2 into 10 to the power 5, because cos 60 is 1 by 2. Into 2 into pi is 3.14 into mass. Mass is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by Q. Q is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 0.3 Tesla. And when you solve this, you will get pitch to be approximately 4.4 centimeter. So in this case, pitch of the helix is this much, radius of the helix is this. So this way you can solve the question based on if a charged particle moves or enters a region with a velocity which is not perpendicular to the magnetic field. If it is perpendicular to the magnetic field, in that case it will go in a complete circular motion. So there will be radius and time period. There will be no pitch because there is no parallel component. So that way you can solve. So this was the end of your lecture number 8. We have finished two very small topics, that is motion of a charged particle if velocity is not perpendicular to the field, and what is the magnetic moment due to revolution of a charged particle in a circular motion. If a charged particle is moving in a circular motion, it will produce magnetic field, and due to that magnetic field there has to be some magnetic moment. So what would be that magnetic moment that we have seen? So today's lecture was relatively short. If you are still left with some spare time, try to finish your backlog.